Good morning, guys. Griffin Dahlberg here at Twin Cities Peppers. Today we got another update for you. We got update number 8. It is Saturday, October 9th, 2021. Got a few things to show you, including a trophy prize this morning. I'll get more into that later. But let's stop wasting time and get right into it. Okay guys, plant number 1, no longer here. The Griffin Reaper, the original one that started it all. Voles got to it. I have confirmed voles. So no more guessing. We have confirmed it has been voles. I'll show you here in a minute. But it's no big deal. This one had a good run. We got some brothers and sisters over here that will continue the legacy of the Griffin Reaper. So I'm not too upset, but here we're just gonna kind of keep on top dressing it, let the worms do their work. I'm probably gonna plant some more cover crop in here, see what that does, and then more cover crop next year at the beginning of the year. I'm also gonna use a product called SLF 100, which is a bacteria that will actually break down the dead roots. So it uses symbiotic relationships within the soil to break down the dead roots within there. That is called SLF 100. I will post a link in the description. I'll be watering that in here a couple times, along with some compost tea, just to keep those microorganisms happy, the good bacteria happy, everything flourishing. So we'll continue to work on that soil, and she should be ready for next year by the time that comes around. So Griffin Reaper's gone, but I put it in the compost bin, so it'll be spread throughout the garden at some point in time. So next up we have the purple pumpkin. You can see I'm growing some peas in here. That's just part of the cover crop. Worms are probably loving this. Every time I move any of this stuff, you can see worms within it. So try not to move the soil around too much, but there's worms in there breaking that down, doing their job, so good to see. Next up we have our TSP Moruga Yellow times Yellow Brain strain. Again, this is a massive plant. We do have a few successful crosses on here. Guys, we have gotten some wonderful weather this fall, knock on wood, or bamboo, but it's almost like we got gifted an extra few weeks onto this season. So here we got one of our crosses on the TSP Moruga Yellow. It's a TSP Moruga Yellow times Scotch Brain, and then we have a TSP Moruga Yellow times Reaper times Peach Boot. This one's flowering up very nicely, but those aren't going to make it this year. I'm going to overwinter this plant one more time at least, get it going a little bit better, flourishing a little bit more prior to putting it out. Make sure I pay attention to it inside and feed it a little bit more, get it in a good sized pot so it can kind of you know, cruise throughout the winter. So it's my TSP Moruga Yellow times Yellow Brain strain. Here is our Peach Reaper. You can see here I've set some mouse traps for these voles. We got a hole right here. I'm just putting these mouse traps right on the exit of these holes, and I'll show you here in a minute what we've done last night. Here is our Scotch Brain. A lot of these are just taken off in this cooler weather. It's amazing what they can do in cooler weather. But this is our Scotch Brain. Do have some peppers in there, just believe me, they're in there. There's one back in there, but just not going to produce the way I want it to. Might overwinter this one as well, not sure. Might just start some new Scotch Brain. I really love the Scotch Brain, so do all my friends, so got to keep that going. And here we got one of the children of last year's Griffin Reaper, so carrying on the legacy. Like I said, is our Griffin Reaper number 2. You can see we've already pulled off a lot of peppers on here. We have a lot more on there as well. So this is kind of the pheno I'm going for the Griffin Reaper original right here. It's got the 3 kind of lobes there, but there are some other phenos on here as well. A little bit shorter there. Here, there's a kind of crazy looking one. And you can see sometimes they'll put out these same kind of phenos on a single branch. They'll kind of be divided up by branches. I've seen that quite a bit. But see how many flowers are on here, man. If I could get an extra month and a half, 2 months, I would have the biggest harvest ever. Mark my words. Here is our purple pumpkin times peach reaper number 2. You can see just how many flowers are on there. That means next year I'm gonna have to get these going quite a bit earlier, probably a month earlier, start in January, and then get them into some bigger pots prior to bringing them out. So that's what I'm gonna focus on this year, is getting these things in bigger pots, decide what I want to grow next year early, and just get those things going as early as I can so we can get our first flush a little bit earlier, and then be able to put on a lot more peppers and finish out the year with another large harvest, as we're gonna miss a lot of these flowers here. A lot of these are not gonna come to fruition or fruits. But here's our purple pumpkin times peach reaper number 2. You can see that's the pheno we got there. It's the pumpkin looking one. So bleeding calyx and everything, really cool cross. Here we have our reaper times peach boot. This thing is kind of a weird one this year. Dropped a lot of flowers at the beginning, probably had some trips or something going on, but now it's putting on quite a few pods. Nothing compared to the amount of flowers on here, so you can see it's still probably dropping some flowers. But this thing never really ripened the way I'd like it to. These kind of ripened to almost a brownish color, but they're still kind of green, which is weird. Oh, here we got a mutant one. It's kind of cool. See that sometimes. Here is our Jay's Peach Ghost Scorpion. This one didn't do well this year. A lot of these ones that didn't do too well this year are starting to kind of go right now, which is really weird. I'll show you my 7-pot gigantic orange here in a minute. Next up, we have our Griffin Reaper number 1 this year. So these are both F3 plants. So we had our the F1, which is when the seeds for this one were crossed about 2 years ago. I grew it out last year, and it turned out to be that cross. That would be the F2 plant that I just cut down. And then we have F3 plant and F3 plant. So my isolated seeds that I'm taking from these, I'm making sure to note that they are F4 seeds. They're F4 seeds. So this one I really love. This is the shape of this plant and just like the compactness of this plant I really like. I really like those traits, so I'm gonna definitely make sure I grow a few of these ones out next year. You can see just how many peppers it put on in such a short amount of time. I mean, they're just loaded. I mean, this cluster here, that's just on one little branch there. Got some more up in there. A little bit smaller just because they're putting on so many at one time. That little trick I did with that percussion massage gun really actually worked wonders, as you can see there. Got some ripe ones in there as well, but just lots and lots of peppers, and it's still putting on flowers, which is pretty insane to me. So this is our Griffin Reaper number 1. Next up we have our Peach Reaper, purple pumpkin times Peach Reaper number 1. God, I really like this pheno. I wish I could have gotten this isolated. I think I might just roll the dice and grow this one out. Hopefully it didn't get crossed, but I really like that shape. That's kind of what I would be going for. A lot of them were kind of 2 lobes, and then this tail would kind of come out at a hook. This one's uniform all the way around, so really like that one. I think I might grow that one out next year. Not a ripe one, but you can see this one's kind of rotten inside. I'm gonna take that and just feed it back to the soil there. But kind of sucks that we couldn't get all these flowers to become peppers quick enough. Yeah, it's my purple pumpkin times Peach Reaper number 1. Here you guys, this thing is just massive. This is my ghostly jalapeno. You can see just how big it is here. If I kick it, very big plant, as you can see. Lots of peppers. These shoots, these are those shoots that came up that I was telling you about, how they come up overnight, just gotten bigger and bigger. Pretty insane. And look, we got some more shoots coming up. I would normally take those shoots off just because they're not going to make it, but just going to see what happens here. So see, lots of peppers. Those will all ripen up quite well. Here is our Reaper times Jay's Peach Ghost, one of my favorites this year. I got a couple isolated peppers from there, so I'm going to be growing this out again for sure. This thing did turn around quite a bit. It was kind of getting spots and withering and brittle stems for a while there, but it seems to have really made a comeback, which is good. Kind of signifies that, you know, it could have been just something off in my soil, not necessarily a bacterial infection, but it's doing really well, which is really good to see. No longer seeing that stuff on new growth. So that is our Reaper times Jay's Peach Ghost. And here's my 7-pot gigantic orange, guys. This is one of the ones that was not doing well, and is all of a sudden putting on peppers and stuff. So kind of cool to see. It makes me happy to see that it did make a little bit of a comeback and wasn't totally screwed. But we're not going to get too much off that. And here's my trophy kill of the night. Look at that, guys. I'm pretty sure that's a vole. Very sad, but messing with my stuff, so I had to get rid of him. Nothing's worked. I tried juicy fruit gum. Don't ask me why, just look it up. It's kind of crazy. It didn't really work, I don't think. And then I tried those little buzzing things, the stakes that make buzzing noises in the soil, and that didn't work either. So I had to resort to something a little bit more hardcore here. I know it's brutal, but teach them a lesson, right? So that's that. Here we got our Sugar Rush striped. Really cool pepper. Very tasty pepper as well. You can see just how big that thing is. So you'd love to see that. Back here we got some Aleppos. Again, more Aleppos really flowering up right now, which is kind of makes me a little bit upset, just because we didn't get as many as I would have wanted to, and it seems like these things are just kicking into high gear right now. So I'm going to really prep my soil next year, make sure there's some compost in there, get it really revitalized, and maybe give these a little bit more room next year for sure. So there's some Aleppos over there, and let me go to the other side here. Of course, some more Aleppos. Got some poblanos on there, picked a few of those. Fresnos, more Aleppos. Yeah, guys, this one you guys pretty much know what's in here. So that's a good look at everything. But oh, here you can see there's kind of one of those holes right here that kind of cover it up. So I'm going to put another trap outside that. There you can see I've just placed traps kind of at the entrance of their holes. So yeah, guys. That is my garden for 2021, update 8. See there, just a sea of green here, so really good to see. Made a good comeback. I was really worried there halfway through the season, if you guys didn't notice or remember that, but I'm very happy with how things have gone in the last month and a half, 2 months. So that is my garden for today. If you guys did like this video, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe, please. It would really help my channel. So if you could please subscribe, I would really appreciate it. You guys could follow along for seasons to come. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Happy gardening, and we'll see you next time.